3 49ers that could potentially be traded. So if you don't know when the trade deadline is, it's Tuesday, October 30th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't worry, I got you covered. That's 1 p.m. Central Time. Shanahan hasn't rolled out trades. He said that they're always trying to improve, but let's be real, I don't think they're going to go out and make a big splash like a Jimmie Garoppolo because this team is in rebuild mode. So the first guy that they could potentially trade away is a wide receiver, a veteran wide receiver in Pierre Garcon. NJ.com has already come out and said that the 49ers could likely trade Garcon by the deadline. Garcon's been struggling with a catch rate of only 48.5% this season. And when you're just looking at the overall, I guess, the way the team's going to go, the 49ers at least have some young talent. Now, I was a huge fan of Marquise Goodwin. Huge fan of Marquise Goodwin. You finally got to see a little spurt of that 2 weeks ago. But they still have some young and up-and-coming wide receivers. Maybe they address the wide receiver in the NFL draft. But Garcon ultimately is a guy who's 32 years old, is probably on his way out. I mean, what are we going to do with a guy like Pierre Garcon? He's just, in my opinion, a below-average wide receiver at this point in his career. Next guy coming up here that they could potentially trade, well, it's on the defensive side of the ball. And it might not be too much of a surprise to any of you that the 49ers could potentially trade Jimmie Ward. So the fact that Jimmie Ward is a guy that we've talked about multiple times on the 49ers report, and the fan side has already come out and said that, yeah, a trade could potentially happen for Ward. Ward is on the final year of his rookie deal, and he's been a versatile guy, but he's hurt way too often for anybody to be able to rely on him, especially in that secondary. The secondary is filled with young guys, but at the end of the day, I'm looking for somebody who I can count on just a little bit more. Looking for something that I can count on just a little bit more. You know what I can count on every single day? And maybe it's not a good thing if I drink a Tavour beer every single day, but I need you guys to go to this, okay? You need to go to Tavour.com. I want you to check it out. You're going to use promo code ChatSports for $10 off your very first purchase. But Mitch, why would I go to Tavour? If you love rare craft beer, the holiday season is right around the corner. It's the best place to get some gifts. I know I would love to have a big box of craft beer shipped right to my door, and you can save $10 when you use promo code ChatSports. The next guy coming up here who could potentially be traded, it's Arik Armstead. And when you look at Arik, I think this is the ultimate sell-high candidate. Arik has definitely struggled staying healthy throughout his entire career, and he hasn't lived up to his draft pedigree, which was a first-round pick. The fact that he's been able to play in every single one of the 49ers games this year is screaming at me, sell high. Sell high, sell high. Maybe somebody's going to see him and say, wow, I maybe see the potential, and I can form him into the player that the 49ers potentially couldn't. So if you could sell high on a guy like Armstead, hey, I wouldn't totally mind it. It's going to be a $9 million cap hit, though, in 2019. So he's either probably going to get cut, or maybe we could just trade him right now and get something in return. So who would be the first 49ers player to be traded before the deadline? I want you to comment below. Who's going to be the first 49ers player traded below the deadline? Of the 3 players that I just showed you, I think Armstead is the most likely to be traded. But I want to know from you, because this show isn't just about me. First player 49ers could trade before the deadline. I'll be back after the 49ers Week 8 win against the Cardinals. So until then, go Niners.